So a couple weeks ago I bought that, or almost a month ago, I bought that Leon number 90 blade or model 90 blade. And I told you in that video that I needed to set it up for the quick hitch. Well, I've gone and got all the supplies for it finally, and now we can set it up for a quick hitch. But I figured this would be a good opportunity because there's hundreds of videos out there showing how to set up an iMatch or a quick hitch. That's not really the intent of this video. The intent of this video is for the 4R or the 4 series owners and the 5 series owners that can go back and forth between the category 1 and category 2 implements. The 4 series will only take a category 1 hitch. However, it can use category 1-2 implements. So for instance, this BB4178, which is my box blade, is a category 1, category 2 piece of equipment. It's rated up for 90 horsepower. And so obviously 90 horsepower in most cases is going to be a category 2 tractor, like the 5 series. The 5 series comes standard with a category 2 hitch, but you can downgrade it with some different components and make it a category 1 machine. But what I'm kind of after here is to show that there's some specific things with those category 1, category 2 implements that don't necessarily sit with historical, this is what you should do to make it quick hitch compatible. There's a couple different steps to do. So obviously this implement right here is hooked in at the 26-inch centers with my John Deere category 1 iMatch hitch. And then there's actually another hitching point, which you can see my 2 fingers right there. That's the category 2 attachment points. So if we were going to use a category 2 machine on this box blade, we can, because the attachment points are there. Now a lot of times what I've seen people do is actually turn pins around. And I will have to apologize for the wind. The wind's blowing about 25 miles an hour here today. That's why I'm doing this in the shop, not outside. Plus it's unseasonably hot. I think the high today was somewhere in the mid-90s, which we typically don't see much past August 1st. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I wanted to show you this blade hooked up to the 4066 because I'm not going to hook the blade up today, the Leon blade up today. But the Leon blade is a category 1, category 2 piece of equipment, and so I'm going to get it in the shop. And we're going to set it up to be quick hitch compatible. So when the need arises, all I have to do is drop the box blade off, lift the pins there on top of the iMatch, unplug the hydraulic couplers, and we are good to go there. And it just drops off, and I can drive right over the Leon blade, pick it up, and we're off and running. So I'll get the blade in here, and we'll come back and we'll use all of this hardware over here. Alright, so on this blade right here, the first thing we have to do is get the top link set up. The top link is pretty easy. All category 1 implements, which obviously this is a category 1-2 piece of equipment or attachment, so it'll have a category 1 top link to start out with. All you need is, you'll need the 3/4 pin, and then in conjunction with the 3/4 pin, you will need your 3/4 to 1 inch, 1 inch OD bushing, and then your 1 inch to 1 1/4 inch OD bushing. So you can just put those 2 bushings in together. That's what most places will do. That's the way it is on my box blade. And there you're set to go, and the top link is done. Now if you remember when I got this blade, it actually had some type of bolt in there, just a grade 3 bolt, which I was not particularly excited about. The lower ones, historically, the lower pins on quick hitch, when you do something with a quick hitch, you will use a bearing that looks something, a bushing that looks something like this, in which case you slide it on to the pin, and then you hammer it home, or you use a roll pin. So the roll pin in the bag here. Use the roll pin to secure the bushing to the pin itself, but we don't need to do that on this one because we can't. So what we do need to do is we need to use some bushings. So this is our category 1 pin right there. That's our category 1 side of our pin. And You can't see it on that side of the video, it's this one right here. But what we do need to do is we need to use 2 different bushings, or if you want to go, you can probably find single bushings online, where we're going to go from these lower pins are 7/8, and we are headed up to 1 inch and 7/16. That's the diameter for the outside diameter for the quick hitch pin. So what I've done is I've gone to the store and I've gotten a 7/8 inside diameter, which the outside diameter is 1 1/8 inches, and then the inside diameter of this next one is 1 1/8 inches, and the outside diameter is 1 inch and 1 inch and 7/16. So we're going to put 2 of those together. Now the only problem is I haven't checked this already. I know I've had this problem with it in the past. Is these bushings are typically going to be too long. The ones a lot of times that are available at the farm store are going to be too long, and you have to end up cutting them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm going to measure this out right here, and then I have to cut all 4 of those bushings down, because in the end we'll have a setup that looks something like that right there, 2 bushings inside of one another. So what I'm going to do real quick off video is I'm going to get some measurements in here, because it looks like I'm going to have to cut off right about 1/4 of an inch or so to get these to fit in the hitch here. So I'll do that, I'll come back and I'll show you my final product, and we'll go from there. Just really quick, I got to thinking about it as I was working on these bushings. I don't want anybody to think that I have some fancy equipment or anything to cut these bushings down. Literally, I am using a hacksaw with an 18-tooth blade on it. I just put a new blade on it. So a hacksaw, and then I'm using a bastard file, and then some round file. It looks like a chain link file. I mean a chainsaw file to do the insides to get rid of the burrs. I did on the first one. I did use the angle grinder, but the angle grinder I have not used when I did the second one. And so here's the first 2 that I finished right there. 1.5 inches instead of I think originally, and you don't even have to have a pair of calipers or anything. Yeah, so I'm taking about 1/4 inch off of these. But yeah, I mean, simple hacksaw, you chuck it up, you put it here up in a vise and you cut it off, and then you file it down and get rid of all the burrs. Pretty simple process. You know, not nearly as nice as something you'd find on like A-Bomb 79's channel. If you haven't watched his channel, I would encourage you to. It's some really cool machine work. Adam gives you a lot of really good information. But yeah, I am just doing this with a hacksaw, so you don't have to have any fancy equipment to do this. It just takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to get back to work here, and that way we can go ahead and get it installed. Okay, got my bushings done. And so here they are. Got them all cut off to 1.5 inches, or a little less than 1.5 inches. Not perfect, but it works. Like I said in the previous part of the video, or at least I think I'll put it in there. I just did this with a hacksaw and a file. I did the first one with a grinder. I didn't get the hacksaw quite right. I had a dull blade. Changed out the blade on the hacksaw. Didn't need the grinder after that. So I did everything with a hacksaw, a bastard file to kind of flatten the edge and the outside edge, round off the outside edge, and then a round file for the inside. So pretty easy stuff. So what we're going to do is we just put these in here like that, put this pin through it like that, and we have our bushing for our quick hitch. And then we do it again on this side. And our blade is set up for whenever I'm ready to use it for quick hitch. Pretty simple stuff. Like I said, you might be able to find 1.5 inch bushings. These are 1 3/4, so these are the only thing our farm store had. They had lots of selection of bushings and stuff, but you know, for I think each package of bushing, one package was $4.99 and one was $5.99. So you know, basically for 11 bucks, I put this plus tax. I put this together. Oh, and then I think these 2 bushings were another 5 bucks up here. This pin I already had, and all of these I already had, and some of this hardware came on it. So yeah, so the Leon blade's ready to go whenever I'm ready to use it. I'll try to do that sometime in the next couple weeks, maybe get a video. Right now it's too dry to use it and it be really useful because we haven't had any rain in a couple weeks, so the driveway's pretty hard. So I'll, as soon as it rains and we get some moisture back in the ground, I will hook the blade up and we'll try it out. So thank you very much for watching.